strange verdict. This was a rape claim. It was a rape case all along, and the jury rejected that, but made other findings. So we'll obviously be appealing those other findings, but they rejected her rape claim, and she'd always claimed this was a rape case. So it's a little perplexing, but, we move forward.
Did you speak to Mr. Trump, and what did he tell you?
We've spoken, and we're ready to, proceed, go forward. Obviously, he's firm in his belief, as many people are, that he cannot get a fair trial in New York City based on the jury pool. And I think one could argue that that's probably an accurate assessment based on what happened today. Again, it's something that, we're very confident on the appellate issues here. The Access Hollywood tape should not have come into this case. Some other things shouldn't come into the case. I mean, we made many motions that we thought would create issues for appeal, and we're going to employ them now. There were things that happened in this case that were beyond the pale. I mean, we made a mistrial motion and went through the trial because of some of the rulings and we believe a bias that was displayed by the court. This judge has been overturned already once by the Second Circuit in Carroll versus Trump, and we think he's going to be overturned a second time. But in the meantime, we march forward. He was found not liable for the rape, and that's it. The fact that Reid Hoffman, the Democratic financier, financed this case, and that was not something when Donald Trump was accused of making statements that this was a politically motivated claim, and the judge wouldn't let us go into that. And there are plenty of issues, Adam, for us to pursue.
You were complimented by not only the judge but opposing counsel. How do you feel about that?
I appreciate that. I mean, look, I have respect for the opposing counsel in this case. Roberta Kaplan's a great lawyer. Her team's great. And I appreciate that they complimented me. But, for me, it's just about the results. And at the end of the day, while, it was strange, part of me was obviously very happy that Donald Trump was not branded a rapist. I didn't think there should be any liability findings, so we'll pursue it. We'll pursue it, Adam. That's what I just said about the appeal, right? We're going to be appealing it. But she claimed all along that she had been raped by Donald Trump. That's what this case was all about.
Can you talk about Trump's decision not to attend his trial and not to testify?
Yeah, this is a circus atmosphere, and having him be here would be more of a circus. And again, what I said in the summation yesterday, reigns true. Holds true. It's that, what more could he say other than I didn't do it? And he said that under oath here. It's hard to prove a negative. Molly, I could say you stole my pen, prove you didn't do it. How would you prove it? Say you didn't do it, right? I mean, it's sort of where we're at. So, it's very simplistic to say, oh, he should have testified. He had nothing to say other than what he's already said under oth. So
you talked a little bit about how perplexing the verdict was. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good to see you, man.
Good seeing you. How does that play in the appeal? The fact that she called it a rape case all along.
I think it's an inconsistent verdict, right? And it's something that obviously will be another issue for appeal. But Jim, the issue for the appeals were laid really months ago when things like Donald Trump's attempt to have the dress tested for DNA after they sent it into a lab and didn't come up with semen. I think that's something that was important. The fact that the Reid Hoffman, the Democratic financier, who Ms. Carroll was not candid about when she testified initially under oath in her deposition, that should come into this case. The Access Hollywood tape should not have come into this case. There's a federal rule called 403 that balances out inflammatory and prejudicial things, and that certainly was one of them. So, but there's plenty of issues to appeal. And look, that's what happens, right? We're in one sense gratified, and I know some people in this camp are very happy that the rape claim was rejected, but I'm not, and I am happy about that certainly, but I'm not happy that he was found liable for anything whatsoever, because on this evidence I didn't think he should have been.
How did Mr. Trump take it?
He's strong. He's ready to move forward. He wants to fight this on appeal. Again, he was successful in one appeal before the Second Circuit with Judge Kaplan on Carroll versus Trump, and he thinks he's going to be successful on the second one. But he's planning, he's got a town hall tomorrow night, and he's just moving forward, as he always does.
Is this going to be right?
Nope.
Thank you. This eventually complicate the career for the President Donald Trump, this case?
No, I don't think so. He seems to be a survivor and move forward, and will continue to move forward. Again, this case will be up on appeal, and we'll see what happens. But
What do you think about the anonymous jury? Did you think that was fair?
No, I didn't actually. Look, there have been mafia cases where there are anonymous jurors, but at least the lawyers get to know who the jurors are. Here, we didn't even know who they were, and that's in a case where there's a very strong reaction people would have to politicians, particularly Donald Trump, one way or another. We should have been able to tell something about the background of these people, and unfortunately, having an anonymous jury, even kept from the lawyers, I don't think was fair or was right. It sort of prevents a thorough jury selection, and we couldn't challenge people who we didn't know, what their backgrounds were. So we look at faces, basically.
Do you think you could stay in the final judgment pending appeal?
We will.
What did you say to Evie when you shook her hand?
Oh no! Listen. What I said to her is between Miss Carol and I, but I don't make it personal with people, and we had a pretty good experience as far as the parties in this case, considering what we went through. This was not an easy case.
What do you think about how fast they came out?
Yeah, it was fast. I mean, again, it's hard to see behind a jury room door. And I don't know what they were thinking, or what it sort of indicates is what people have been saying is that in New York you just can't get a fair trial. And, people have said you lost the case when they announced the names of the litigants. But again, they found him not liable for the rape.
What do you make of the fact that they decided? What do you make of the fact that they so quickly decided on sexual abuse, but didn't go as far as saying this was rape?
Yeah, it's what I said earlier, which is a bit inconsistent, right? It's a bit inconsistent because all along she claimed this was a rape. Not that she wasn't certain if it was a rape, it was a rape. And she said that, and jury rejected it. So it's hard to sort of square that with the rest of the verdict. But it's a good question. I'm a little perplexed, guys, honestly, in that regard. Okay, I'm going to go now. I have a fan that wants to talk to me over there, so I'm going to go address him.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.